How are you today? Just want to check in real quick. And first and foremost, I want to share something with you. Something that has been on my heart for the past few days. And before I get started, just let me know if you can hear me and see me. I'm in my garage, about to head to the gym. And let me know where you're watching this from. I'm in New York. Where are you at? And the subject that I want to share is the power of communication. Because I truly feel when you communicate what's in your heart and you share what you're feeling, you heal and you allow other people to heal as well. And the biggest insight I got this week was sharing something vulnerable, something that I went through. I had this post that I wanted to publish, and for so long I was like holding it back, hesitating, fear, so much resistance, and it's like when we see other people being vulnerable, it's so inspiring, it's so courageous, but when we do something vulnerable, we face a lot of resistance to share what's inside of our hearts. And I was mentioning how me sharing a depression that I went through after moving into my dream house was me opening up about a pain that I was experiencing. But the biggest thing that it did was it allowed other people to open up as well. In this world of social media, we're seeing highlight reels. We're seeing people sharing the best parts of their life, catering to, here's the awesome things in my business, in my relationship. Everything is great. But very few people share their failures. And my philosophy is to share everything openly. The good things, the bad things, and that creates connection, right? Because oftentimes we see people living their best life, but they're not sharing everything that's going on, even behind the scenes. So we could get into this imagination that people's lives are better than ours. But in reality, everyone is fighting a battle that we know nothing about. So I truly feel that the world is craving truth and honesty. And that's why there's such power in expressing yourself any which way you feel comfortable, whether it's putting out a video, a post, talking to someone about something you're going through, because it's truly the fastest way to healing. And I've seen it myself. Oftentimes in the past, I was in a place where I was hurting inside. I was dealing with so much trauma and pain, and I held it in. And I found that the more that I open up about the things that are causing me pain, I connect with people, because everyone is dealing with something, right? We all face the same uncertainty, the same fears, the same pain. And although we come from different demographics, men, women, young, old, different countries, speak different languages, it's the same heart. It's the same struggle of the human experience. And there are times when life is phenomenal and we celebrate and all goes well. And there's times of chaos and uncertainty when things are going downhill. But it's kind of like this up and down of life. However, the world of social media oftentimes only shows the good shit, the celebration, the highlights. And I realize that the more people share their failures and their pain and their uncertainty and their fears, the more we connect. But also as a whole, we realize that, we're not fighting this struggle by ourselves. Everyone is facing something, And that's why, like I said, I hesitated so much to talk about the depression that I went through, because the fear of getting judged, the fear of people saying, oh, this guy, he seems like he has his shit together, but he's suffering behind the scenes. And it's like, no, everyone's suffering behind the scenes, Show me a person who has a perfect life, and I'll show you a person who doesn't exist. So it's being in a place where you're communicating, you're opening up. If you're depressed, if you're anxious, if you're dealing with something, express it, open up, talk to someone. Like I said, maybe you don't have the courage to go in a public forum and post about it on social media, but it's reaching out to people, reaching out to your friends, talking to people who could just listen, you know? Because when you bottle that stuff inside, it's like poison. It decays you from within. So being in a place where you're transparent, if someone's saying, how you doing? And you're depressed, you say, I'm feeling a little down. What's wrong? Is everything okay? Well, this is what's going on in my life, right? Sometimes just expressing it to someone starts the healing process, because some people are on the top of the mountain celebrating shit's going well. Other people are in the bottom of the valley, depressed, suffering, dealing with some type of trauma. And at the end of the day, it connects us, it bonds us, because as human beings, we have the same heart. We suffer the same pain, the same fear. So the more you talk about it, the more you connect with people. Marta says she's depressed. So I appreciate you for being honest and vulnerable. What advice do you have for Marta, someone who's depressed? I would love to hear in the comments. If one of your friends came up to you and said, I'm depressed right now, what do you tell them? I'm curious, right? Because there's people that are watching this right now that are suffering, that are going through some turmoil. Paris says, respect, AJ. Anytime you want to come to Cyprus and hang out, you got a place. Absolutely. I would love to go to Cyprus. Actually, I have a lot of friends there too. And it's a great way to get away and go on vacation, And that's the biggest thing. It's like looking at different ways to get your mind off of yourself. Because oftentimes when you're focused on your own problems, your own fears, your own pain, it's hard because everything is me, 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 me. But when you open up about it, you realize other people face the same thing. There's a connection. There's a camaraderie. Everyone has your back. You know what I mean? So it's understanding that you're not alone, understanding that everyone is fighting a battle that we know nothing about. And some, like I said, are courageous to go in a public forum and share their pain. And once you do that, you realize people come to help you out. People go out of their way because they don't want to see you suffer. They don't want to see you have challenges, right? Because we have this special place in our heart for people that are suffering, that have pain. And that's why we have so many great resources, like suicide hotlines and different websites and different groups that you can just go up and vent, you know what I mean? Because something that affected me for a long time was holding shit in. I'm a man. Men don't express their feelings. And you're in a place where you don't realize that by holding it in, it makes it worse. It comes out in different areas, So that's why my philosophy was to start communicating my pain, start sharing what is bothering me. One, I feel better in the process. Number two, other people are facing the same issues. And it's like, you're not alone. You know what I mean? So that's the biggest thing about communication, but also using your pain as inspiration for someone else. I wrote about this last night. Blessed are the people that could use their pain to inspire other people to overcome theirs. Because the biggest thing I realized with my students is they have a purpose in life, right? So if you have a purpose, you have a mission to help people at the highest level, it all comes down to the pain you want to heal. So the question I have for you is, what pain do you want to heal in the world? If you could eradicate a pain that humans are suffering from, what would that be? Obesity, being financially unstable, having bad relationships, being unhappy, suicide. I mean, there's so much pains out there. Child trafficking, poverty, education, loneliness, right? And it's knowing that most times you overcame the pain yourself, right? What you've learned in the process allows you to help someone else. That's why I'm a big believer in coaches, right? I have my own coaches. Coaches help me get through my own pain and struggles. But at the same time, I love helping coaches. That's why my company's called Online Super Coach. If I could help one coach get clear in their superpower, get clear in their mission, give them the energy, the motivation to help more people, they help thousands of people in the process. So I just love people that serve, right? When you serve with love, when you serve from a place of wanting to genuinely help people, you're adding value, you're making a great living, but at the same time, you're making a massive impact, right? Because there's people in the world who need a coach, a leader, someone to follow. And there's people that make an impact. So it's like, who are you in this, right? Are you the person who needs the help, needs the support? Hire a coach, get a mentor, get someone that will help you, that will listen to you. At the same time, if you're a person who's on top of their game, winning, getting great results, you've overcame a pain, then you're the person who serves other people. So it's just kind of having that dynamic, right? But it all comes with communication. It comes with, if you're on the top of the mountain, right now, I'm in a great place in my life. I'm happy. I'm abundant. I have great relationships. And these are the things I did to get to where I am. You're adding value, right? On the other end of the spectrum, if you're suffering, you're going through pain, talk about your pain. Talk about the shit you're going through, because other people are going through it as well. Everyone is fighting a battle. Everyone is suffering in some way or another, And my biggest thing is like, sometimes people can see me and like, oh, this guy has his shit together. He's happy. He's got a good life, got a good business. But no, I deal with shit myself too. I have bad days. I get depressed. I get anxious. I doubt myself, right? And I know that I'm not alone. There's 7.5 billion people in this world, and everyone is dealing with something in one way or another. So the more you talk about what you're dealing with, the more you connect with people and the more you create solutions. So I just want to leave that with you to, one, share my immense gratitude for you being in my life, being in a place where you could have this support system, For me to just go on social media and write something like I did on Monday, I could not have done that many years ago, but I feel loved and I feel supported and I feel appreciated. And I know that by me sharing my truth, it'll inspire other people to share their truth. The amount of emails that I got, messages, texts, people sharing things that they've never told anyone. I'm dealing with this pain, and thank you for being brave and sharing yours. And I'm like, I'm glad to do that, because I could talk about my success and the great things, my accolades, but I know that the real connection comes when you express your challenges, your pain, your anxieties, because other people feel that right now. And the more you talk about it, the more you connect and you come up with solutions and you serve people. So I'm going to leave that with you. Be in a place of expression and opening up your heart. Hey, Stephanie, what's going on? Stephanie is a super powerful woman, boss babe, and she actually helped me a lot with my communication. She has a great quote that says, if you want to heal, express how you feel, right? The tagline of this, and the more that you feel what comes up, the more you talk about it, the more you get solutions, but the more you connect with people, like-minded people that are suffering from the same pain. Because like I said, at the end of the day, we have the same heart. We suffer through the same pain, the same fear, the same trauma. We're all in this together as a human experience. The moment we're born, we're experiencing pain. This is a part of life, right? I wish there was a way that we could all be enlightened and never suffer again. But it's the ups and downs of life that make it interesting, right? No one ever wants to read a book and life is great. Everything is awesome. That's a boring ass book. You read the book because of the roller coaster, the ups, the downs. That's life. And that's what makes it beauty. Like right now here in New York, it's damp, it's rainy, it's cloudy, right? Because it's rainy and cloudy, I appreciate the sun. I appreciate the beautiful weather. If it was sunny all the time, I wouldn't have the contrast. So the contrast is good, but also sharing the contrast, being real, being authentic, being transparent. Where things are good, share that. When things are bad, share that. And you will not even imagine how many people you help when you come from a place of vulnerability and transparency, because I feel that vulnerability is true strength. So I'm going to head to the gym. And if you're watching the replay, let me know where you're watching this from. And the question I have for you is this. If you have a friend that comes up to you and says, I am depressed, what advice do you give them? How do you get them out of their bad state? I'm curious to know, because someone right now watching this is depressed. They're in a deep, dark valley. They're suffering. And a few kind words can make the biggest impact on their life. So I'm out of here. I love you and I appreciate you. And please, 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 please share what's in your heart. The more that you open up and share the good, the bad, the more you connect and the more you transform the world.